For the same God who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," would shine His light in our hearts to reflect His glory to the rest of the world. We have asked Him to shine in us and through us that you as we do.
Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of the darkness shining. Jesus, light of the world, shine upon us. Set us free by the truth you now bring us. Shine on me. Shine on me. Shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. Lord, I come to your awesome presence, from the shadows into your radiance. By the blood I may enter your brightness. Search me, try me, consume all my darkness. Shine on me. Shine on me. Shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. As we gaze on your kingdom brightness, so our faces display your likeness, ever changing from glory to glory. Nearer, dear, may our lives tell your story. Shine on me. Shine on me. Shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. Send forth your word, and let there be light. Send forth your word, and let there be light.
Brother Larry Montsanger, would you open us in prayer, please?
Thank you, dear Father, for another opportunity to come into my house and to worship you. Just to give thanks for all that you've done for us. Heavenly Father, we pray that the man you would have to lead our church would come soon. But dear God, we know that time is not what is important, it is the man. Dear Father, we just ask for thy forgiveness of our sins. We pray, dear Father, for the sick, those who can't be here, dear Father. just ask a special blessing on them. You would heal them if it be thy will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good evening. Good to see everybody this evening. Glad you're here. Remember all the things that we brought up this morning in the announcements, your Lottie Moon Christmas offering, the prayer calendar this is the week of prayer, so remember that this week, and that's in the books this morning. Would like to, on your, the calling list, which Tanya's working on that. So, and she's sent out a couple of things so far. And she's just kind of learning how to do it. But they have requested, if you've not filled out the paperwork, to have them call or text you about on the one call thing. Be sure and get that filled out, and if you would, give it to my wife, Elaine. She's trying to help with that, so see if we can get that all going, and so if you've not filled that out, be sure and fill that out, and that way you can get the call if there's a prayer request, or church has been canceled, or anything like that, then you can get that call on either your cell phone, or I guess, or
You can get it on your cell phone or your home phone, or if you get a text. If you'll just let me know which you prefer,
right.
then we can do that.
In this day and age of all we have, some people prefer text messages and so forth, so on. So if that's what you'd like to do, like I said, Tanya's figuring out how to work all this, and then we'll go from there. So if you've not filled that out, fill that out and get it to Elaine, and then they can, or her or Tanya, either one, and they can get that set up so you can be informed.
If there's a problem, let us know.
Yeah.
If you've not gotten a call or a text or whatever, you want to check it, I'll go back and take it.
And that way, maybe the number might not be right or something, but if you would give them an update on that, and that way they can get that taken care of. Remember the 6th at 7 o'clock at Heritage Hall, the band concert. Remember that. And then, of course, next week, Brother Honeycutt will be here to speak to us, so be sure and be here for that. That's all I have that I see right here, I think. Any other announcements that anybody knows of? Okay. And then on our prayer list this morning, we added Zevin Corbett, the Anita Rourke family, and Steve Ross on this morning. Does anybody know of anybody else we might need to add this evening? Okay, that's a good thing, that we don't have to add anybody to the prayer list. Okay. Brother Howard, would you lead us again in prayer, and remember all our prayer needs, please?
Heavenly Father, we can't be privileged to come back in your house this evening. Father, we come for no other reason than to worship you. We will not worship you in spirit and truth. Father, we have a number of our prayer list. We just pray for each and every one of them, those who may know not all, they know us each and every one. And for those needs, go to your divine light, we lead our church, help us in everything that we strive to do, that we would honor thee and please thee. Forgive us again for our sins, for shortcomings and all we do. In Christ's name.
You all stand at 89.
Amen.
First person to greet me when I come in tonight said, "You're going to be our guinea pig." I thought, Lord, what have I said this to? Come to find out it was a little lapel mic. You wanted to test a little lapel mic, and I'm more than happy to do that. And I do appreciate the invitation that you extended to me for these last 3 weeks. It's been a blessing for me to be here with you. And what I consider a blessing is I'm able to come in to a body of believers like this, which is a family. And that's one of the things that I've noticed about the church. You are a family. You look at one another as brothers and sisters in Christ. And there's something else I've noticed about your church. See, I guess that's just something that preachers do. We're people watchers. When people don't even think that we're watching or we're even listening, we're paying attention. And one of the things that I've taken away from your church is that there is a passion within this community to take the gospel outside of these walls. I noticed that right out of the beginning. Because the first Sunday I'm here, I've got a stack of boxes. This side. First Sunday. And to me, that's impressive. Because that shows me that you're interested in taking the message of Jesus Christ outside of this church. And taking it not only around the world, but to the community. So tonight I'm going to do something a little different. You're going to make me a guinea pig, so I'm going to make you a guinea pig. rather than preach, I guess what you would say what I'm going to do tonight is teach. And when I teach, I like to engage the people that are here. I encourage questions. I encourage interaction with the congregation. And I know that scares you to death. Lord, he's going to call me. I know, I don't do any of that. I just want you to feel open to speak as I'm going through a particular topic that I want to talk about. And something that's near and dear to my heart is our community. Because each and every one of us are a part of this community here at Johnson County. And I know that you're like me. If you have a passion for taking the gospel around the world, you want to see the gospel proclaimed right here in our culture. And the best way that I have found to carry the gospel outside into our community is through one-on-one evangelism. Here's question number 1. How many of you are comfortable sharing the gospel with other individuals? Number 1. 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're not, that's nothing to be ashamed about, because I promise you, the people that are comfortable with sharing Jesus, there was a point in time in their life when they weren't. And I was like that. I was very uncomfortable approaching someone just out of the blue, or striking up a conversation with someone that I know about Jesus Christ. Now, in order for us to be able to take the gospel and be able to share it with an individual in our community or an individual in our family, we have to know a little something about the culture. We have to know something about our community. We have to look at the community and the culture from a Christian point of view. Here's question number 2. Have you ever thought about the different belief systems that are right here in our community? Can you name any of them?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Catholics. We do have some of the Muslim faith right here in Johnson County now.
Atheist.
Atheists. Any others? In the community where I used to pastor, had Buddhists. That's always an interesting conversation. But there are other groups besides the ones that we've mentioned. And the biggest religious group that is found in our community is a group that is known as agnostics. Now, does anyone know what an agnostic is? Well, an agnostic is an individual who will look at you when you approach them about believing in God, and they will say, well, I don't know. They say that there's no way that you and I can know that God exists. They will not deny the existence of God, but they will not come right out and say that He exists. Now, there's another small group that is found in our community now, and that's Mormons. Any of you know anything about the Mormon Church? Now, they've been grouped with evangelical Christians, but I'm here to tell you they're not evangelical Christians. The Church of Latter-day Saints are not monotheistic like we are. They do not believe in one God. They're polytheistic. They believe that you can be a good Mormon and become as what? A God. They believe that you can become a demon. You become just like Jesus, a son of God or a daughter of God. Now, somebody mentioned atheists. Now, there's another group that comes along with atheism. And they're actually more predominant in our area than a full-blown atheist. Environmentalists. Environmentalism is a religion. Did you know that? Environmentalism worships what God?
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. They worship Mother Earth. Now, how are we to engage these groups? Has that thought ever entered your mind? How do we engage someone that is of a different faith group or a different way of thinking than we are? Maybe that's just something the preachers do. Let's say that one of your co-workers is agnostic or atheist. How do you sit down and have a civil conversation with them when the topic of religion comes up?
On a state job, you don't.
You don't?
On state job.
On state job. Most of us, we just want to say, well, I just want to leave them alone. But there's a problem with that. Flip in your Bibles to Matthew chapter 28, verse 19. And this verse is the problem. Because if you're a born-again believer in Jesus Christ, you have a problem with leaving them alone. So here in Matthew chapter 28 and verse 19, you and I are given a command. This is by Jesus Himself. He says here, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost." There's three commands right there. I can preach a week on this right here, but I'm not going to. First command is go. Go. Go into the highways and hedges. Go outside of these walls. The second one is teach. And who are we to teach? According to this, we're to teach all nations. And what are we to teach them? Teach them to observe all things I have commanded you. Be baptized. So, any of you know where to start to engage someone? To begin the conversation?
On their own ground.
The best way that I have found in order to engage someone that may not believe the same way that you do is asking questions. It's by active and actually being interested in what they have to say. Because if you act interested in what they have to say about certain topics and certain things, odds are they're going to be interested in hearing what you've got to say. So be interested. Find out what their opinion is concerning specific issues. Now, the key for us to be able to reach people with the gospel is to be sincere. It is to be interested in what they think. Okay? And here is, I guess, just a broad overcast of all faith groups here, what I'm about to share with you. I don't care if they're atheists, I don't care if they're agnostic, I don't care if they're Muslim, I don't care if they're Hindu, I don't care if they're Catholic, I don't care if they're Mormon. Each one of these groups have to ask and answer 4 specific questions. They have to ask and answer 4 questions. The first of which is why and how did things come into existence? Or where did we come from? The second question is what went wrong? What went wrong in society? Why is the world the way that it is? The third question that every faith group has to answer is there any hope? Is there any hope for the situation that we find ourselves in? And the fourth and final question that every faith group has to ask and answer is where is all this headed? Where's the world headed? And I firmly believe that each of you in this room already know the answers to these 4 questions. But we're going to go over them tonight. Because these 4 questions are the basics of the gospel. The very basics of the gospel. So, where did we come from? Genesis 1:1, right? And before you freak out, I'm not turning charismatic right here. I'm not speaking tongues. I'm going to quote Hebrew for the first phrase of the Bible. Bereshit bara Elohim. And the reason that I quote that is because within the Hebrew language we get a stronger meaning or a stronger understanding of the first phrase of the Bible. Bereshit means in the beginning. Bara, created. Elohim, God. Now here's what's interesting about that first phrase that we find in Genesis 1:1. That word bara, it's used almost 200 times in the Old Testament. But each time that verb is used, it is used in direct relation to God. The verb bara implies out of nothing. So in the first phrase of the Bible, in the beginning, God created out of nothing. And what did He create? Everything, right? The verse says the heavens and the earth. See, that's what we believe. What about the atheist? The atheist believes that nothing ran into nothing and blew up and caused something. Which one takes more faith? It's evolution. The environmentalists, they hold the same view. That nothing collided with nothing and made something. Now, how about the Hindus? Any idea about the Hindus? One particular deity within the Hindu religion, his name is Brahma, same as a bull, Brahma bull. Brahma is their god of reincarnation. The particular Hindu religion teaches and believes that life here just reincarnated from somewhere else. And it's just an ongoing circle. How about Muslims? Do any of you know what Islam teaches about creation? Islam teaches that Allah created. That He is their God. the one who created it. Agnostics, they don't know. They don't know if God created because they don't know if He exists or not. So they side with evolution in most cases. See, if you understand that first phrase in the first verse of the Bible, you understand that God is responsible for everything. See, that's the whole basis of the gospel. That God created us, and He created us perfectly. But what went wrong? The Muslims teach that Adam and Eve sinned, but you and I did not inherit that sin nature. Did you know that? They do not believe in the depravity of man. Evolutionists believe that we started out bad and we're actually getting better. How's that theory worked out? Hindus, they believe that we've always been this way, but there's nothing wrong. But what's our answer? It's Genesis 3, isn't it? Because what happens in Genesis chapter 3 after God created the world and created man perfectly? What happened? They sinned. They fall. Eve was tempted by Satan. And all the men were going, yeah, it's her. No. I blame Adam. Yeah, you heard a man and a preacher say that. It's Adam's fault. Because you know what Adam's job was?
Head of the household.
He was to protect his wife. Where was Adam at? I believe he was taking her out. See, at some point, Eve found her way separate from Adam. Adam was in one part of the garden, Eve was in another part of the garden. And Adam was given the responsibility to be there as a protector for his wife. And we know the rest of the story. She's tempted. She picks the fruit. She eats. Adam don't want to get in trouble with his wife, so you know what he does? He eats it too. So that's Adam's sin. Did you know that? He loved his wife more than he loved God. But that's the answer that we have for the world. That's the truth that we have to share of what went wrong. Well, the next question is there any hope? Well, according to Islam, the way to overcome sin is what? Does anybody know? The 5 pillars of faith, right? Works. Works. They have 5 pillars of faith that they hold to. They have to perform. One of those is making a pilgrimage to Mecca. How about the Hindus? Does anybody know? They believe in what's called Dharma. Dharma is just a moral presence in your life. If you gain Dharma, you become moral or more moral, you'll become a better person. And they have different levels of this Dharma. One of which, according to their religion, you can actually achieve it. The Mormons, they believe that it works. Being a good Mormon. How about us? What's the only hope for salvation? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And I could go to a ton of references tonight, leading that and sharing that with you. So there's no salvation, there's no rescue for humanity outside of Jesus Christ. Where's all this headed? Here's what gets interesting, because each one of these groups, they have their own eschatology. And eschatology is just a fancy word for the end of time. The Hindus believe that we're just simply going to reincarnate from another planet. How about the Muslims? Do you know what the Muslims believe? It's basically the opposite of what we find with Revelation. And what I mean by that, they say in their apocalyptic book in the Quran that there's an individual who's going to come on the scene. His name will be the Mahdi, the final or the 12th Imam. He is their Messiah. Do you know how he's going to arrive according to their prophecy? We've got a description of it in our own Bible. It's in Revelation chapter 6. The Antichrist. The description of the Antichrist that is contained within the Word of God is the exact description that they have in their writings describing their Messiah. They say that he's going to come riding on a white horse. You know what's going to have in his hand according to their writings? Bow. The exact same description that is given for the Antichrist. He is going to come as a political leader. He's going to come to unite the nations under Islam. He is going to wage war. He will sign a 7-year peace treaty with Israel. His mission is to destroy Judaism. His mission is to destroy Christianity. To convert the entire world. Now, they believe in Jesus. Did you know that? And they teach that Jesus is going to come back. But their Jesus is not Jesus. They teach and believe that Jesus was a prophet that didn't die. Did you know that? That the Jesus that they refer to was actually carried up into heaven just like Elijah. And he had nothing. And he's going to return to the earth during what they refer to as their tribulation, and he's going to come to assist the Mahdi. Their picture of Jesus is what you and I refer to as the false prophet. They teach in the Quran that Jesus will return and he will marry and have children. And he will die. Because he didn't die the first time. He was simply carried to heaven. How about the Roman Catholics? Any idea? Any Roman Catholics in here? Okay. Their eschatology basically mirrors ours. There's not a lot of difference in their eschatology. Our ecclesiology is completely different, and ecclesiology is just a fancy word for what we believe about God, and we believe about man, and we believe about sin, and how to overcome sin. But their eschatology is a lot like ours. Now the Hindus, like I said to you, they just believe that we're going to be reincarnated. But what do you and I believe?
We as Christians will go to heaven.
It ends with the kingdom, doesn't it? It ends with the heavenly kingdom. We get a beautiful description of that in Revelation chapter 21. here we have this revelation that's given to the Apostle John. In chapter 21, he writes and says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and He will dwell with them, and they shall be His people. God Himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, nor shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." See, when you and I present the gospel to someone, we have to present heaven as beautiful as the Scriptures. We have to present heaven as real as we do hell. I know early on, when I was learning to share the gospel, I struggled with that. I did. I struggled with presenting heaven in the right way. I wanted to scare him to death. But after I scared him, I didn't give him anything to encourage him. See, that's the key. We have to present the good and the bad. And we have to present the evil. As we present hell equally terrible, we have to present heaven as equally beautiful. So in a nutshell tonight, what I've done, I've unfolded the gospel. When you sit down with a family member at Christmas, and if your family is like mine, we all have family members that are not believers in Jesus Christ. So that right off the bat tells me that they are of a different belief system than we are. And I'll give you the 4 things to talk about. Where did we come from? What went wrong? Where are we headed? Solution to the problem. There's a hope. That's what we talk about. Now, am I promising that you will have individuals that will come to Christ? No. What I am promising you, though, is this. If you faithfully present the gospel, then you fulfill the command that God has given each of us. And the gospel is that simple. It's that simple. Now, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about track talk being up here? That's all I have to read. I'll turn it back over to you.